food chain is a picture or model that shows the flow of energy from autotrophs producers to series of organisms in an environment, as shown in the following figure. 40 Environmental Science AITTHS figure. Schematic representation of food chain. In fact, all of the food chain starts with the sun. The sun provides energy for plants. The producers' plants can make their food themselves with the help of the sunlight, chlorophyll, water and air. The consumers, including animals and humans, cannot make their own food. They are always depending upon the producers for their energy. Decomposers are the microorganisms that break down the dead animals and plants and release nutrients that become part of the soil, which are reused by new plants, back to the starting point of the food chain. Types of food chain. 3 basic types of food chains are found in a typical ecosystem. They are 1. Grazing food chains. 2. Detritus food chains. 3. Parasitic food chains. 1. Grazing food chains. Operating in grazing food chain starts with green plants producers and goes to decomposer food chain or detritus food chain through herbivores and carnivores. It has 2 types. A. Terrestrial food chain and B. Aquatic food chain. A. Terrestrial food chain. Food chain on land is called terrestrial food chain. Example: grassland food chain, forest land food chain, desert land food chain, grassland food chain, grasses, grasshoppers, frog, snake, eagles. Forest food chain, sun producers, carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, decomposer. 41 Environmental Science AITTHS green plants. Deer, tiger or lion. B. Aquatic food chain. This food chain is slightly different from terrestrial food chain. It is seen in aquatic water ecosystem. Food chain in water is called aquatic food chain. Example: marine food chain. Example: ocean freshwater food chain. Example: pond, lake, streams, etc. Food chain in a pond: phytoplankton, zooplankton, small fish, large fish, man. Marine food chain: seaweeds, small fish, large fish, sharks and other animals. Figure. Food chain: grazing food chain, detritus food chain, parasite food chain, terrestrial food chain, aquatic food chain, marine food chain, freshwater food chain, standing water food chain, running water food chain. 42 Environmental Science AITTHS 2. Detritus food chain. Detritus food chain starts with dead organic matter, plants and animals, and goes to decomposer through consumers. Detritus food chains, independent of solar energy, but they depend on influx of dead organic matter. Example: dead plants, soil myths, algae, crabs, small fish, large fish. 3. Parasitic food chain. Parasitic food chain operates in many ecosystems. In this food chain, either consumer or producer is parasitized and the food passes to smaller organisms. A parasitic food chain involves host parasite, hyperparasites, links. Example: trees, fruit-eating birds, lice, bugs, bacteria, fungi. B. Food web. Web means network such as spider's web, World Wide Web, www, etc. So, food web is a network of food chains. In a food web, many food chains are interconnected, where different types of organisms are connected at different trophic levels, so that there are a number of options of eating and being eaten at each trophic level. Thus, there is an interconnecting of various food chains are called food webs and is shown in following figure. Bird, eagle, snake, frog, grasshopper, grass, fish, insect. 43 Environmental Science AITTHS figure. Food web. This food web shows many linear food chains as shown in figure. These linear food chains are interconnected with other food chains operating in the ecosystem to form a food web. The grazing food chains are as follows: grains, mouse, cat, grains, mouse, hog, grains, mouse, snake, hog grains insect, sparrow, hog grass insect, lizard, snake, hog grass insect, sparrow, snake. Hog. The above food web is a simple one. Much more complex food webs do exist in nature. See, ecological pyramids.